How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sunday, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern. And it is Tuesday here on the show. You know what that means? We got a lot to talk about here today. Tonight, NXT. Everybody's main man, CM Punk, is back. He's going to be making an announcement about what he's going to be doing in Chicago. So that'll be exciting. Bunch of other matches as well. We have Dynamite tomorrow with 3 matches announced thus far. We've also got notes on SmackDown and last night's Raw, and a lot of news. John Oran talked about the AEW television deal with WBD, which is largely exactly what we've been talking about, but there's some other notes here that we can bring up here. And in other TV news, we have got the return of Saturday night's main event, which is coming up Saturday nights in December. And we'll give you some details on what they plan on doing there. We got ratings from the last couple of days, SmackDown, Rampage, and Collision. Sheamus has re-signed a new deal with WWE. Got notes on the NXT and TNA relationship. And also NXT moving their October 8th show. And Trish Stratus, Logan Paul, and we're not going to talk about that, are we? Bobby Lashley, plenty more. Whatever we didn't get a chance to talk about yesterday, we'll get into here today. So all of that plus the Raw report and plenty more. If you want to text us here today, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. F4W Online at gmail.com. F4W Online, Threads, Instagram, and Cameo. And I'm at Bryan Alvarez on Twitter. X, as they call it. Mike Sempervive joining us after the break as well. Back in a moment, Observer Live.
Don't do it, man.
Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com.
Got him in a good mood.
God, you know what you and Tom were yesterday? I just figured it out. You were Mariah May and Nigel, and I was Tony Schiavone. That's what happened yesterday. But Tom is not joining us here today, so I'll actually get to get into all of this very, very important news today.
He was Mariah, by the way.
And we have a lot of it. Well... Okay, let's talk about this TV deal.
Yes.
So this is largely what we've been talking about for a long time. John Oran noted that it should be announced at any moment, which we talked about. Did say it looks like it'll be 3 years with a 4-year option, or an option for a 4th year, which they've had deals before and the option's always picked up, so I'd be surprised if it wasn't, but you never know. So the number floating around, which was floating around here among places, $170 million a year, which would include programming on TNT, TBS, and True TV twice a week. Was not really explained what that means. But my guess is that we would see Dynamite, Collision, and Rampage, and then maybe replays of the main shows on True TV. AEW pitching another package of broadcast channels, but there's no timetable for when they'll start to push that deal. That's believed to be Fox, which we'd been talking about, Fox and FS1. So that's obviously very good. $170 million. I think they were currently making about 80. And so the big question, which is unanswered, is, and it wasn't talked about here, what's going on with pay-per-views? Is everything moving to Max? And as we have talked about, it is believed that everything is going to end up on Max, but exactly when that's going to be, we don't quite know yet. Max is not quite ready to roll that out, so perhaps that will be part of the deal going forward. And if it is $170 million per year, but they also make all the money off pay-per-view, that's a lot of money. If it's $170 million per year, including the pay-per-views, still great, but not as impressive as if they were going to get the pay-per-views on top of that. So that's what we don't know right now. But looking like they're going to be making a lot of money. About a year down the road, probably the second most profitable wrestling company of all time. So there you go.
Yeah, you said 80 million. I think WrestleNomics has estimated 70 million is about what they were looking at, and at $170 million, that is a whole lot of money. And when it comes to the 6 hours a week or 6 shows a week, I believe that just is it's probably going to be True TV either running replays. I don't think they'll have their own exclusive event like moving Battle of the Belts over there, although that could happen. But I think they could add simulcasting in the same way that they do the Manning cast on ESPN for Monday Night Football, the same way that that's been done for several sporting events out there, including the Major League Baseball playoffs. I could see them doing something like that and then combining those numbers like they do for these other events in a way to tout how well they're performing. And they keep expanding out this TNT Sports footprint, and a lot of that is going to be on True TV. They seem to be rebranding that into TNT Sports. So this makes sense. And if it's just going to be replays, that's fantastic. Or maybe a studio show or something like that you can air on there. I would have concern, no matter how much money you get paid to do it, that there is too much programming, and I would be interested to see what exactly they're selling a broadcast network and what broadcast network would
well,
be
it was
happy
worded
to take that.
It was worded interestingly here, where it says that they're shopping around another package to, quote, broadcast channels.
Yeah.
But, like, my guess is that means they're shopping it to Fox, which would then
For
put it on
FS1.
FS1.
But the thing
which is
with
what
that
everybody
show
has
is,
figured for a while now.
And again, if that's a show like a replay show, a package show, a kind of a throwaway show where they're going to give you X amount of dollars, cool. But they have a problem with the amount of programming that they have right now. So, yes, the money is great, and that's fantastic, and I guess you really can't turn that down. But with that said, you know, again, you have a problem with maybe too many hours of TV, which has happened in the past. It's not like the NWA and Dusty Rhodes and Jim Crockett Promotions and Turner didn't run into that problem at some point. So I don't know. Right now they're cold and they have problems, you know, with their main show, Dynamite. So to keep expanding that out, I don't know if that's a great idea. I like the idea of simulcasts or, again, something unique you could do with that programming.
You know, one of my favorite things on Observer Live is when Dave tweets, "You have any questions about this deal, tweet them to me and or email them to me and I'll answer them on the show." And then it's like all the same questions, and then like a bunch of questions that we have absolutely no idea. So, for example, this person here says, if the pay-per-views are on Max, is going to go WWE-style free shows or UFC-style sub to buy a pay-per-view? We don't know. We have absolutely no idea. We'll know when it happens. What channel is each show going to be on? We don't know. No clue.
Do you have any idea on why people are so hung up over pay-per-view and Max? Like, you have the ability. It's not like people are limited and they can't buy this thing now. I wonder why people are so interested in that as a component to Max. Why that's more important than the fact that they just doubled plus however much money they were making off their old media deal.
Why are people interested in pay-per-views on Max? Because they'd rather subscribe to Max and get the pay-per-views for free, like with Peacock, than paying $60 per show.
You know what?
For every pay-per-view.
That shows my old manness, considering I have like Peacock and few other streaming services that I even bother to use. So, you know, again, that may be my bad there.
We'll find out when we find out, is the answer to that question.
How much is Max now without commercials? Like, what's the in HD and all that? Like, what's
I have no idea.
Tier? Is it like $30 or whatever now?
I have no idea what it is.
Disney's high. I got that one. Lord.
WWE has officially confirmed the return of Saturday night's main event, December 14th, Nassau Coliseum, Long Island, 8 p.m. start time. Nassau Coliseum also hosted the very first Saturday night's main event in 1985.
Did.
Which featured Hulk Hogan and Bob Orton, which was a great match. That early Saturday night's main event, the 80s, man, those shows were awesome.
They were fun.
Flat out awesome. Once it came back in the 2000s, I mean, it was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I think they still do some stuff. Actually, house shows have been branded Saturday night's main event. But I think they got a video up, and apparently there's talk of using the original Saturday night's main event theme. I hope they do that. I hope they bring it back.
Obsession?
I hope they run it exactly like Saturday night's main event used to be back in the day.
Please.
Put a main event on first. You know, Cody defends a title against the Honky Tonk Man, and then whatever else you do on the show. I hope it's at midnight. I hope it replaces Saturday Night Live. That's probably not going to happen.
11:30? No.
11:30, yeah. 11:30 to 12:30 is what it was. Yeah. So, that'll be exciting. It's coming up in December for those of you near the Nassau Coliseum.
Remember when they would bring it back and it was like the worst rated thing on Saturday nights for, you know, NBC, and they kind of threw it away, and they would do Tribute to the Troops, and that would do what it would do, and they would kind of throw that away for a while. And now we're to the point with broadcast TV where you put this stuff on, it's probably going to do pretty well, especially if it's sandwiched between football.
See, here's the other thing. Go back to the AEW TV deal. Like, what are they doing? We don't know. I mean, the line here about AEW programming, there's a point to this. Airing on TNT, TBS, and True TV. Like, we're just speculating that these are replays, everybody. I mean, Mike just mentioned the Saturday night's main event and Tribute to the Troops and that sort of thing. It could be that the shows are on TNT and TBS, and every now and then True TV has Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
So we don't know until we know. But it does look like that's the details, most of the details of this deal. Back in a moment, Observer Live. We did, in fact, by popular demand, watch Ready to Rumble.
The champion is some fat loser.
Yeah, he's a completely talentless, no athletic ability, can't wrestle, broke bum. that walked out on his wife and kid.
But he
and
was
he's
over.
the world champion.
He
and
was.
in the movie, the
well, yeah, but
storyline
that's a
is-
microcosm of wrestling, sadly.
Yes.
He feels so bad about drinking this entire slushy that cost $1.26, and he sticks his finger in his asshole and walks up to the clerk.
Lance is dying. How could the movie be so bad?
I'm not going to fault the man for that, of all the things in the movie.
I thought for
okay?
sure you were going to say you'd done this before.
There's a reason I'm not going to fault the man for that.
I just think with all the porta potties and farting in this, that I think Vince McMahon was a secret producer on this film. Had to have been.
So then we get the Shermanator. He's playing a WCW arcade game. He uses some internet sleuthing to find the personal information of Jimmy King.
He's searching the internet. Gonna find out anything on here. This movie was so antiquated. Every Nitro Girl is in a Nitro Girl outfit, except for this girl. They had her
want
dance in
to
something
stand
totally
out,
different.
Brian, like the captain.
So we're so stupid. I got it.
Captain
Yes,
Stabbin.
if you're watching this film, you're that stupid. I'm sorry.
But I was also insulted by the fact they hired Michael Buffer to announce the Royal Bash, the fake-ass Royal Bash.
$24 million budget.
Wow.
And probably 500,000 of that went to Michael Buffer. It made 12. You know, we
He
should mention
unveils-
this cage match is the triple-decker Cage of Doom. Everybody buried it. It was horrible. Everybody hated it. And so they decided to make a movie. And what is the final battle? It's another goddamn triple-decker cage match. This would be like in 2010 if like TNA made a movie and the final match was a reverse battle royal.
They throw powder in someone's face, DDP's, I think, or somebody's, and the dude just looks and goes, "It doesn't work." It's like, of course, because wrestling's fake and stupid.
Should we just end it there? What a soundbite. There has never been a movie I have watched in my entire life which has made me hate myself more.
Wow.
I'm ashamed that I'm even in the place at 41 years old where I would end up reviewing this movie for money. I would have thought I would have made it out of here by now. You know what I mean? I'm done.
Well, everyone, hopefully we can do this again someday. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back in the show, and my main man Dom's got the update on Max. Right, Dom?
I do. So they have 3 tiers of Max. You can do ad-free for $17 and ultimate ad-free for $21 a month. And obviously, you get the 16% discount if you buy it for the full year.
So what's the difference between the ad-free and the ultimate ad-free?
I got you. Ad-free, you can stream on 2 devices at once, full HD 1080p, and you can download 30 programs to watch on the go. Ultimate ad-free, you can stream on 4 devices at once.
Oh,
you can stream
my God.
in 4K for select titles.
4K?
And you get 100 downloads to watch on the go.
Wow. Does anyone have a 4K television? Anybody?
Yeah,
I guess they sell them for like $30
Yes.
at Costco now. They were a lot of money when I was young. Maybe I should get one.
Well,
For
how about
what?
this? Do you think that people will be happy, or would they be happy if they decide, okay, we're going to have the AEW library on Max. You can watch the pay-per-views after the fact, but you are still going to have to pay for pay-per-views no matter which way you decide to go ahead and order those.
Well,
Do you
people
think
are not
would be
people are not
happy?
going to be happy if they have to spend more money. They will be happy if they have to spend less money.
But you get
I've
the
learned in my
library.
years as a businessman.
Yeah, but you get the library, and you get a lot of people that wouldn't order the pay-per-views
I would like the
anyway,
library
that
because I
would-
want to start over 5 years ago in AEW. That's what I want to do. I want to start over at the beginning for the Bryan and Vinny show.
You just want it for the gimmick. Look at you selfish bastard.
I'm doing it for the people. We could watch along together.
Yes.
One of the most popular things we ever did was when we went back and watched the Raw and Nitro shows again. All right. SmackDown. I was not right. I thought they were going to hit 2 million. But on USA Network on Friday for the debut, they did 1.7 million, which was very good. And 0.55 at 18 to 49. They did have some pretty strong competition. That's a pretty great number. I don't think they're going to get that most Fridays. It's probably all downhill from here. But a very, very nice debut number for SmackDown.
I wouldn't think it's all downhill. I mean,
I wouldn't say all downhill, but
They're not-
I don't think it's regularly going to be doing 1.7 million on Friday.
Well, I think it could hover around there. I mean, the NFL was probably the thing that took the biggest chunk out of them last week, and there's going to be a lot of college football that comes on and everything. But even on USA, I mean, it's not going to do Fox numbers, but it's still got the potential to do Fox numbers if you build it up right. It'll probably end up around 1.8, 1.9 million people every week, I would think, without the NFL taking a chunk out of it.
So, somebody here was disappointed. They thought it would do better. Here's what people don't understand. I'm trying to find it right here. Fox is available in, God, I don't even know, like 120 million homes or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think USA Network is now available in like 44 million or something. So, like, we're talking...
Oh, it's a lot more than that.
Actually, yeah, I'm sorry. That was, probably 70, maybe.
And it's also, and it's a featured channel because Xfinity owns it, so it's a featured channel on a lot of those networks and is everywhere on every
Okay, so
streaming
USA
service.
Network is in 70 million homes.
That's
Okay?
it?
70 million. All right, and that was as of last year, so it's probably less now. And Fox is available in... Where does it say? I mean, it's got to be close to however many... I mean, if you have television, you can get Fox.
Yeah. Let's just say 140.
I don't think it's that high.
Well,
Why is it so...
110?
Do I have to ask this stupid thing?
Jesus Christmas.
I should have just thought of this earlier.
Maybe.
How many homes in the U.S. have the Fox network?
We could also do pre-production.
No. I'm supposed to know we're going to talk about this?
I know.
Okay, 121 million homes. Thank you, ChatGPT. They're faster than Dom. Okay, so you're talking 121 million homes versus 70 million homes. So there's no...
Can
it's
you
just
ask that gimmick if that's true about USA? Do it. Ask it.
It'll tell me the same thing.
All right, let's see.
How many homes in the U.S. is the USA Network in? All right, so USA Network... Oh, this is outdated. This says 90. As of recent reports. Listen, as of 2023, it was 70 million, okay? Fox is in every household that has a TV, so it's 121. So Fox is in not quite double, but like not that far off. 140 million would be double. This is 121 million. So it's like the idea that SmackDown on USA is going to come close to the numbers they were going to do on Fox. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but you got
43% more homes have Fox than the USA Network.
Oh, I know, but look
That's
what
just
they
reality.
Look what they used to draw during the Attitude Era, though. So I think it's a matter of how hot you are, because if you can remain around... Look, if they remain around 1.7 million, right, and you go into WrestleMania season, you go into the Royal Rumble, and things are hot, and The Rock's coming back, and Cena's here, and this and that, like... they can absolutely do 2 million. They can absolutely do the numbers they were doing on Fox. It may not be for an extended period.
It's also Friday night, not Monday.
You're absolutely right about that. But again, if you give people a reason to tune in, as they did on Fox, they'll tune in. So again, it's not going to do exactly the same numbers, but I don't think it'll fall that far off as long as the product remains hot.
Keep in mind, in 2011, USA Network was in 100 million homes. We're down to 70 million right now. So, doing a straight comparison, it's just tough because less and less people are
Do me a favor.
watching stuff on cable.
Axe that gimmick. How many homes Access TV is actually available in, just so we have an idea?
Ain't many. How many homes carry Access TV? It's not even going to know what Access TV is. I have to probably spell it out. Oh, I figured it out. Wow. How many homes carry Access TV? Well, this says 50 million. That's probably also outdated. So I would bet anything Access is in probably 30 million. I'll bet that it'll have it right here.
What about True TV? We should have did
I'm not spending the whole show Googling 32 million for Access TV these days. That's November 2023, 32 million.
Ask ChatGPT if it knows who Filthy Tom Lawler is.
Oh, it'll have something about Filthy. Do you know who Filthy Tom Lawler is? I should ask if it knows who Mike Sempervive is. Yes, Filthy Tom Lawler is a professional wrestler and mixed martial artist. He's competed in UFC, where he fought as a light heavyweight and middleweight, known for his entertaining persona. After his MMA career, Lawler transitioned to professional wrestling, performing in promotions like Major League Wrestling and New Japan. His gritty, aggressive style in both sports, along with his charismatic personality, has earned him a solid fan base.
Damn!
Do you know who Mike Sempervive is? This should be good.
No mention of you, though.
Doesn't even know how to spell your name. He's a well-known figure and the host of Pro Wrestling Media. He is a co-host of the popular wrestling talk show Wrestling Observer Live on the Wrestling Observer Figure 4 online network alongside Bryan Alvarez. Sempervive, spelled wrong, is known for his in-depth knowledge and commentary on wrestling and combat sports, providing insights on wrestling news, events, and storylines. His work has made him a respected voice among wrestling fans and analysts. I can't take this seriously anymore.
Brothers and sisters,
Ridiculous.
If that ain't proof AI sucks,
Absolutely
I don't know what
ridiculous.
is. I don't deserve any flowers. What the hell is that?
Do you know who Bryan Alvarez is?
Bum ass.
Let's see what it says about that. It spelled my name wrong when I asked the question.
Brian with a Y?
Yes, it spelled my name right with the answer. A prominent figure in professional wrestling journalism.
Prominent.
A former professional wrestler. Editor and publisher of Figure 4 Weekly. That's a little outdated. Co-host Wrestling Observer Radio with Dave Meltzer. Well known for his wrestling analysis, reviews, and reporting through the Observer website. Wrestled in various independent promotions, blending his experience in the ring with his media work. His insights and critiques have made him a respected voice in wrestling media. Thank you, ChatGPT.
So we're both respected voices of the community.
That's what ChatGPT says, but they respect everything.
Hey,
unlike these real people.
Ask if you're invited to the cookout.
Would you shut up?
All right.
It's Collision and Rampage. I'll ask.
Yeah.
It's Bryan Alvarez invited to the cookout. See what it has to say here. No, not it's. Oh, my God. Is Bryan Alvarez invited to the cookout? Why is this so hard?
Because you don't have culture.
I can't read this. Anyway, Rampage, 250,000 viewers and a 0.07. Went head-to-head with Fox and ESPN and a little bit of SmackDown. At first, that SmackDown had an overrun, and boy, did that do a number on Rampage. We say it every week, like, AEW fans, many of them will choose WWE over AEW. So things have shifted dramatically from 2019 and 2020. Collision. The good news is it did not air opposite SmackDown, so it was up 70%. However, it was the second lowest audience the show has ever done on a Saturday. It did 268,000 viewers and an 0.08. Yikes.
American college football, brother.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem, okay?
And it's not a must-see.
No, there's a bigger problem because, yes, you can say college football, but guess what?
What's that?
Last year, this same week last year, which also had college football, they are down 42% in viewership and 47% in 18 to 49. So this is more than football. This is, fans have decided this is not an important show.
No.
And if you watched Collision, it was not an important show. I liked it, but you could miss it. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Granny, what's happening? What do we got for the wrestling report here today?
Top or something. Talk or something.
So Niven comes in, jumps on Bailey with her overweight body a couple of times, doesn't mind playing dirty, leaves Bailey on the mat in lots of pain. I found this book. It's called Limericks from the Heart.
Is this a Lanny Poffo book?
Let me finish this one. This guy's name is Lanny Poffo. And there are 335 pages in here. Can you guess what it's about?
Smoking.
Oh,
Sean
It
the
is.
Wizard.
Have you read it?
We read it every week for about 6 months.
When I first started.
Wow.
Why don't we start reading some questions, and we'll see if we can spur some answers out of Granny. Shall we try?
No, I don't think so.
Let's try.
Then you'll really find out how dumb I am.
Granny, did you know there was a wrestling bear?
No, and I don't care.
All right.
It's a bear that wrestled people.
I still don't care.
Okay.
Is Granny frozen?
Granny, you frozen?
No, I'm ready to read my report.
Your picture is frozen.
It is.
Yeah. Or you're doing a great job as a ventriloquist.
Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, or whatever his last name is. Paul Newman is watching this match, and he's not on
Excuse me?
Cody's side. What's the matter?
Absolutely nothing. Everything's great.
You know, Cody did say that he was looking for a manager. I think him and Paul Newman would be a
What a handsome pair.
a dashing duo.
That guy's a movie star, isn't he?
Since you're on the phone, why don't we just jump right into your wrestling report and such, and then we'll let you go and we'll do Facebook without you.
Can I lay the phone down and you guys, can you hear me?
You can try. Why don't you give it a shot?
Okay.
Oh, boy. It's going to be a disaster. I can already tell.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. That's all right, I guess.
Go ahead.
No, it's your segment. You're gonna read
Read us jokes.
or your wrestling report or whatever. I see Granny has now put the phone back up to her ear.
I'm just, yeah, for now.
Do you have the soaps or anything else, Granny, or are we is that it?
I want to quit for now.
Okay. Well,
No more.
instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. Where's Lenny been lately? This guy is so wrong all the time. The other day he was
Did you miss it?
he was talking about this. Didn't have to do with it had nothing to do with AEW for once. He was like, "This, TNA is getting killed by NXT.
What?
TNA is not getting anything out of it. NXT is getting everything out of it." He's all, oh, well, look who gets sent to TNA and look who gets sent to NXT. He doesn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Add another one. Go up to 7. Thank you, Jared. See, here's the thing.
John.
Okay?
Yes, Jared?
Which one's a more successful company? Obviously, WWE. So they're going to largely call the shots. Okay? But the idea that, well, NXT gets Joe Hendry and Carmen Petrovich goes to TNA. It's just not fair. It's not. You're missing the point, Lenny, as usual. What TNA is getting out of this is the big stars, your Joe Hendrys, are going to NXT, and they're being seen by like 600, 700,000 people on a weekly basis. They're being made bigger stars. Joe Hendry won a main event on NXT. Main event. So then they go back to TNA, and guess what? TNA's been selling a lot of tickets. Their show on Friday night sold out 2,100. Their pay-per-view numbers are up. They're actually, if you look at, here's the thing. If you look at how has NXT business risen or fallen since this deal started? The answer is it's the same. If you look at how TNA business is done since this deal started, it's up. So actually, you could argue the exact opposite of what Lenny is saying, which is this has been a bigger benefit for TNA than it's been for NXT. So anyway,
I don't understand how that is debatable at this point in the game.
well, we'd find a way.
Impact is a better funded, better protected version of Smoky Mountain Wrestling or ECW at the point where they were getting on Raw in 95 and 97 or whatever it was. Like, that's what it is. They need any attention and spotlight they can get. Remember at the end of last year, and nobody will, that we were talking about the fact that for whatever reason, they had a bunch of interest that spiked up in them. And then, as the year began, they lost Demora. We had all this shakeout that happened. People left, and there was a whole hullabaloo over what the direction of the company was going to be. And they're attaching themselves to NXT and WWE. Even if everybody goes up there and takes an L, Joe Hendry's been an example on how it's been able to work for them. At least people are talking about them, and it may not save the company. It may not make them a lot of money. But if I were NXT, I would much rather be attached to them than anybody else out there. And it's going to be the only thing they can really do to benefit themselves. And let's not downplay what this could mean now down the line for NXT wrestlers who need to get out of there for a while because they've been there, but they're not ready to go to the main roster where they can go to TNA and be used in a beneficial way for TNA and get themselves some work. So it can really benefit everybody both ways, even if it's not some monetary thing where, oh my God, Turning Point is now on par with World's End or whatever as far as a pay-per-view goes.
And I got the other one here. This person goes, well, are they going to leave for WWE as soon as possible, this talent? Hey, listen.
Sure.
I'm not saying this is wrong.
Why wouldn't you?
Hold on. I'm not saying this is wrong. But do you know how many people, how many promotions AEW has worked with and just taken talent left and right?
Yes.
Like, that's what promotions do. How about the Motor City Machine Guns who are going to WWE? After they appeared on NXT. Oh, wait, they didn't. Oh, that's right. Oh, so like if Joe Hendry hadn't appeared on NXT, like there was no chance WWE would want it. Oh, okay. So yeah, he probably would try and go there one way or the other. Okay, it's going to happen one way or the other. It's going to happen one way or the other.
If you work at a smaller
like if you don't work with
company,
NXT, like everyone's safe from going to WWE or AEW.
Yeah.
Think again, brother. Think again.
It doesn't matter if you're working in one company that you're getting paid far less than another one, then yeah, you're going to want to move up and go do that, for heaven's sakes. It's such a silly argument to make.
Now, the Raw show. Oh, and by the way, I don't like to say I told you so.
Yes.
But remember when they did that four-way and Joe Hendry was fighting for the world title? And I said, Joe Hendry ain't win this match. Everyone's like, Joe Hendry's got to win. He's got to win. I say he's not going to win. Why did I say that? I said, if Joe Hendry's going to win the world title, he should do it in a one-on-one singles match. Well, lo and behold, he didn't win the four-way, and now he's in a number one, or a main event one-on-one match with Nick Nemeth for the TNA title.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you he wins it there.
But what will JBL do? What do you think about that? JBL is
What's happening that
ubiquitous.
JBL just like needs to be on the road now?
He's on.
Is he
showed
bored?
up in Mexico, he showed up in Puerto Rico because I guess Nemeth and Alberto El Patron are working the same gimmick down there for WWC. GCW showing up killing Effie. Like, what about that?
This person here says Joe Hendry would not be signed to WWE if he didn't get over in TNA first. He got over in TNA first. He went viral over Mania weekend before he'd ever appeared in NXT. You think they had no idea who Joe Hendry was and didn't have interest in him then, before he ever made an appearance on NXT?
Do you know how long Joe Hendry's been around for now?
Think again.
In these states? It's been a long time now. I think people kind of know who other people are, like maybe Lee Fitting and, Triple H may not know everybody, but that's why they have about a zillion people working for them that take care of those things.
Raw last night was great. It was a flat-out great show. There were multiple great segments, but there are a couple that stick out. First off, the finish kind of sucked, but Sheamus and Pete Dunne as a match ruled because this is the best. Sheamus is like, he's entered his Ishii phase where he's very old, but like every time he gets in the ring, like it's awesome. Him and Pete Dunne pummeled each other. And the fans, let me tell you something, they should just move. It's like a Northeast company. They should move to the Northwest. These crowds in Seattle and Portland, they ate everything up on both of these shows. So this match was great. And then Pete hits him with a freaking cricket bat, which I think was like a
Not
cricket.
cleanly.
It was a cricket bat for giants who play cricket. I mean,
Those are harder than
this
baseball
thing
bats.
was like the size of an oar. I mean, it was
Which
like
is
8
small.
feet long,
You know,
but he hit him with it, kind of.
long stick.
But that was a really good match. Then we had my favorite thing on the show, and no, it was not the women's match, although that was very good. It's supposed to be Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, which, by the way, I don't know. A lot of things Vince did were stupid, but I will say he was right about names because we now have a Braun, and a Bronson, and it is murder for me to try to recap these segments. So we had Bronson and Braun.
I hope they have graphics.
Bronson and Braun are supposed to have a match. So before the bell rings, Braun avoids a charge. Bronson hits the corner. The entire top rope snaps off, and the ring is destroyed. And already the fans are like, oh, my God, it's on. So they won't ring the bell. These guys start brawling all over the place. Braun goes for his freight train spot like WWE. They didn't get one good shot of it. The best shot they had, you could still barely see it. But Bronson threw a fan at Braun Strowman. It was a planted fan, obviously. But, they could both go down. And then, Bronson kind of stumbles off. And then Braun goes running, and he tackles him through the barricade. They're both dead. So they send out all these nerds to break it up. And Bronson starts walking to the back, and Bronson goes, come on! But Bronson won't come back. So Braun goes after him. They start brawling backstage. And, they're fighting and beating each other up. And Braun throws Bronson into a wall. And then for reasons unknown, just because he's strong and it's there, he tips over this golf cart and the camera gets all weird. But then when the video comes back, all you see is a flying Bronson Reed. He flies in and wipes this guy out, puts him through a table. The place is going nuts. So they're both dead again, and the geeks are trying to break him up. And finally, Bronson's like, he slowly gets to his feet, and he starts stumbling over to this, and he's near a wall backstage. And then Braun jumps up from this rubble, and he goes running, and he spears Bronson through the wall. And as awesome as this was, they both go through the wall. The smoke kind of rises a little bit. And all of a sudden, there's a delay, which is the best part. All of a sudden, you hear clang, 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 like a bunch of pots and pans fall out of the sky. I was crying. It was like it was like the Wile E. Coyote. He falls off the cliff, and then there's a delay, and then the boulder falls on him for good measure. This was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you not review old Memphis wrestling, which is on YouTube and accessible to everybody, on shows with Vinny? You would love that
I'm sure
show
I would.
because you would love this stuff.
I'm sure I would, but this was 4K, brother, on Max Plus. I loved it. And then, yes, one of the best women's matches you can see all year on TV, Bianca Belair and Io Sky. The word we keep getting is they saw the Tamara Mensa Stock match with
Kendall Gray.
and which apparently I was told was, I got to find this match.
It's awesome.
I was told it was better than this match.
Level up.
And these two decided, well, we gotta do it. And they went in and they worked so hard, and they're doing all this athleticism, and this match absolutely ruled. Clean finish. Io pins her with a small package. I mean, as far as like on WWE, Raw, or SmackDown, I don't think there was a better women's match all year than this match. It was great.
Yeah, with the team with Jade, you forget how great Bianca can be in singles matches, and with Asuka out, Io Sky really is the best woman, I think, in that division. Rhea's a bigger star, but man, you need to have somebody like Io around.
And we had some other good stuff. Priest versus Dom main event was good, and then they did the big angle afterwards. Dave is insistent that that Survivor Series is a War Games with the Bloodline, but I am not 100%. I am not 100%. I think that it's possible it's going to be a Judgment Day War Games and then a Women's War Games as well. Because it just seems weird that if it's going to be the Bloodline, you're giving away Roman and Cody versus Solo and Jacob Fatu. You're giving that away next month. That's bigger than adding another bunch of dorks to the match. God bless them and all, but like these are the 4 most important guys in the feud. They're having a tag match.
If you're going to do 3 War Games, make the whole show like
Oh,
TNA
God,
Lockdown.
no.
Do all? No, you have to. Do 4 matches, and they all
That's
have to
overkill,
be like
brother.
that. Then do 3. But to me, if you do 2, that's fine. Even that's overkill. Sometimes having a women's and a men's, but you can only have 2.
And we had, what else did we have? Just a bunch of promos and matches. Judgment Day and New Day for the tag titles was a fine match, but had a good finish. Where Xavier, he had the win, but Kofi had to do a trust dive. They had a big argument afterwards, and Xavier made a great point. Why did you tell these guys to watch our back, but you didn't bother telling me you were going to say that? He storms off. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
Kidding? Something's out the front door?
Is he ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't
Let
need
me
to-
in! Let me
it's
in!
Fine. It's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock, battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm,
Do you think?
but it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
In there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. I'm Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. So tonight, Brian and Vinny and Granny and Craig and Sean show's back, and it's Primetime Wrestling. God, we got to get through this show. Got to get to Mania 3. Although I've been told that this show is much better than last week's, which may have had the worst match of the 80s. Absolutely, completely atrocious opener.
Who were the participants?
It was Sika versus Moondog Spot.
And let me guess, it was like from like the Garden or something like that.
It was absolutely, positively atrocious, this match. This is the March 9, 87 this week, and I heard it's much better. March 9, 1987. Although as bad as the show was last week, it did have that Hulk Hogan King Kong Bundy main event from Saturday night's main event. That match ruled. So it was not a complete waste of time. But anyway, that's tonight. And then we'll be back tomorrow. Observer Live, Observer Radio. And then Thursday is, yes, the return of After Dark.
Whoa!
Yes, we'll be talking about the Chehalis UFO party.
Chehalis.
That's coming up on Thursday. And it'll be a fun time. So check it all out, everybody. And that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Thanks, Mike, as always, callers and listeners. And as always, my main man, Dom, for stepping in and telling us all about Max. He knows his stuff. Producer Jared. Everybody at Sports Byline. Twitch blokes. Not the YouTube freeloaders, but the YouTube paid. I like you guys. I think that's about it. All right, we'll talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.